Hi, this is Bill Kearns from Blue Kernel IT. This video is about the data structure of academic test demo. So here I have the database diagram for the database academic test demo. You'll notice all the tables. There's final results, tests, testers or students, incomplete tests, class, teachers, and serialized tests. So at the top of the diagram, you'd have teachers, which has one teacher to many classes, which has one class to many tests. And then from tests, you have many final results or many incomplete tests. And on the other side, you have testers, your students, which there's one student to many final results or one student to many incomplete tests. Down here you have serialized tests. This is where I store the actual test itself in XML format. Now I've chosen to do that, which here is the XSD of the test, because it's easier when things change for something like this to go through change iterations. And that's because the XSD file is more or less a schema on its own. And this can go ahead and change, and you could update the version. If I added a version attribute here, that would track the test version. And then that versioning would be independent of the database structure. I've worked in organizations where something that changes a lot, or there's new features added, or different things change, rather than being in an XSD that's serialized as an XML instance, would be broken out into SQL tables. And I've seen how over time the importance of a null field or a new relation that was added can be lost with each change that occurs over time. So I chose to keep the working document itself and that data as an XML XSD combination that I serialize into the database. Otherwise, I have one-to-many relationships throughout these few tables, and I've achieved level 4 normalization. Here is a Wikipedia article. Basically, the first normal form is that nothing is repeated. None of these atoms or attributes. One could argue that teachers and testers have the same attributes. I chose to keep these separate because the entity itself is different. And in fact, we can have a teacher that would also be a tester, and a tester that could also be a teacher. However, as far as validation rules, testers might be able to get certain email addresses only from one domain, so they might have different validation criteria than a teacher's email address. Or one may be required and one not, as items may be added onto that. So level 2 normal form is basically that every table has a primary key, which it in fact does. And level 3 normal form and into the 4th is how the dependencies, the relationships are set up. I have achieved level 4 normalization. I think for level 5 I would have to add association tables in between each relation. There would be a whole second table with 2 rows, one pointing at this table and the other pointing at this table, to represent the association itself. I'm not going to that form. So in addition to that, I have my stored procedures, which are here. I'm not using any functions. There's the parameters. I don't believe. Yeah. So all I'm using here is stored procedures, and I have one view. This will be used down the road when I explain a cube report that I wrote. Thanks for your time. This is Bill Kearns from Blue Kernel IT. Take care.